Hi there everyone, it's Eric Wilhelm here with the Monday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. It's the Valley's most in-depth, geeky weather forecast. We take a deep dive into our local weather here in this video every evening. We focus on our local area, of course, but talk about some national weather happenings as well, and we certainly have some of that to talk about over the next couple of days. Wanted to start with a quick review of something that happened 25 years ago today into tomorrow. You may remember this well. This was the superstorm of 1993. And while the heaviest amounts of snow with the superstorm were off to our east, we still got walloped here locally near the Ohio-PA border. But some parts of the spine of the Appalachians up into parts of New York State, 2-3 feet of snow, pretty common. Just an incredible storm back in 1993. Now here locally, our totals at the Youngstown Warren Airport looked like this. This may be a little hard to see. I should have made this a little bit bigger, but yeah, right in here is where our snowfall was. We registered 0.3 before midnight on the 12th, and then on the 13th, that's the day we really got hammered with 14.7 inches of snow. Pretty close to 15 inches from the superstorm of 1993, so the 25-year anniversary of that storm. That's one of those kind of storms that launches the career of a lot of meteorologists. A lot of meteorologists can point to a weather event and say, this is what really sparked my interest in weather. And for some, for many that I know, the 1993 superstorm was a big part of that. And I remember that storm well. I was, let's see, I'm going to date myself here. I was 15, and I remember watching the Weather Channel most of the day with my grandmother, who was the original weather geek. She really got me interested in weather. And I remember just kind of watching the Weather Channel all day, even though eastern Ohio did not get as much snow as our neighbors in Pennsylvania. It was still a pretty big deal in our neck of the woods. All right, back here in the present month in 2018, in March, it's been a chilly month, 2.5 degrees below average through the first 12 days of the month. Only 2 warmer than average days. That was on the first day of the month and last Tuesday on the 6th. It's been pretty chilly. I was afraid of this a little bit, that we would pay the price for that very, very mild second half of February that we enjoyed with highs in the 60s and 70s for some of those days. We're paying the price here in March. All right, we had a little bit of light snow and some flurries that moved through from late afternoon into early evening. Here at 7:30, not much going on out there aside from a few random snowflakes. So we're just getting started with a pretty unsettled pattern here for the next few days, with a northwesterly flow dominating and the Great Lakes not having much ice left on them. They're open for business. We're going to see some lake effect and lake enhancement over the next few days. But speaking of big storms, near the 25-year anniversary of the superstorm of 93, yet another nor'easter, their third in less than 2 weeks up here in New England. And this is a doozy. Blizzard warnings are out for Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, all the way up to the Boston area. Winter storm warnings for a lot of the Connecticut River Valley and heading up into the Green and White Mountains and into the Berkshires. And this is going to be a doozy of a storm. Very impressive looking here. I've got the atmospheric moisture plotted up on our model here, along with the surface pressure. And look how coiled up this thing gets. This is a true bombogenesis type of situation. That's one of the big weather buzzwords in the media over the last couple of winters. And this is going to fit that definition. It is truly bombing out off the East Coast, and incredible pressure falls. There'll be incredible wave heights, and just a wind-driven, ugly, ugly snow for parts of New England as this thing rolls through on Tuesday and into Tuesday night and into first thing Wednesday morning. It'll lift out and then just sort of meander across Atlantic Canada. As long as that thing's spinning up in eastern Canada, it'll keep us in a northerly to northwest flow and keep us in a just January or February-like pattern. Tomorrow, it's going to look and feel like middle of winter. A lot of clouds, gusty wind. Occasionally, we'll be visited by a snow shower or a flurry, especially around midday. On Wednesday, same idea, cyclonic flow around that low and north to northwest wind, and it'll pick up some moisture off the lakes, and we'll get some flurries and snow showers a few times, probably into parts of Thursday. We may get a little lull Thursday morning before stuff fires up with our next little mini cold front pushing through. And behind that front, one more cold day coming up on Friday before we finally turn the corner over the upcoming weekend. Hour-by-hour snow chances for most locations on Tuesday. Now, it's not going to snow all day in most backyards, but I think the highest chance overall of you seeing some snow will be around midday, early afternoon on your Tuesday. Now, this is going to be pretty low impact, I think, on Tuesday. We're talking about mostly conversational snow with Air temperatures in the afternoon near freezing, ground's fairly warm. You know, when it snows during the day in mid-March, it really needs to thump in order to stick, and I don't see that happening in most spots for tomorrow. We'll have to watch for the occasional surprise with a heavier squall that tries to come through, but aside from some random coatings, I'm not expecting many impacts. Now, snow accumulations over the next couple of days will be pretty modest. Here's a look at our computer model cluster through Wednesday night. Generally an inch or less shown for the Youngstown Warren Airport and areas in that vicinity. When we look at the week as a whole, now this takes into account tonight, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, into Thursday as well. This will slowly add up perhaps to an inch or two in a lot of the light blue area. That includes a lot of Mahoning County and northern Columbiana County. The heavily populated areas in southern Trumbull County, from Warren to Niles to Girard, and then over to Sharon. And again, this is a grand total over the course of a few days, so this isn't all coming at once. An inch or two, I could say where we get a 2, 3, 4 inch total for the week up near Route 87 in Trumbull County, northern reaches of Mercer as well. You know, the weekend warm-up does not look as impressive as it did previously. I had to take our forecast down by quite a bit for the end of the week and into the weekend. A cold day Friday, only 31. 43 Saturday, that's at least closer to average, but it's not as warm as it looked like it would have been. And I still have us breaking 50 Sunday, but a few days ago it looks like we might have flirted with 60 on Sunday. That seems unlikely at this point. We'll have to settle for lower 50s coming up as we wrap up the weekend. All right, quick look at the longer range. Here's a look at the temperature anomalies over the next couple of weeks, according to the European modeling, showing our core of the cold Friday lifts out. We get into a milder pattern for the weekend. Notice the oranges and reds setting up over the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley. A modest warm-up coming. It'll be pretty nice for St. Patty's Day this year. Then behind that, while it won't be as cold, I don't think it'll be as cold as this week. Next week looks chilly again. This is next Tuesday, the 20th, 21st, 22nd. Another chilly air mass overhead. And while that may lift out, it may be replaced by another chilly air mass in about 2 weeks. I don't see much evidence on any computer model, and not just the European, but other modeling as well. I don't see much evidence of any sort of nice spring-like 60s and 70s like we had in February. I don't see that coming in the next couple of weeks. So we've got to be patient. Spring will be here, but it's going to take its sweet time. We're having a March like we had last year, where it's chilly and wants to snow, and we're paying the price for a warm February just like we did last year. Thanks for checking out tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. Tonight at 11, I'll have an update on the radar, show you any snow showers that are out there. Hope you'll tune in tonight. Hope you have the Storm Tracker 21 app handy. You can track any snow showers with the interactive radar right there on the app.